Hey guys, how we doing? I apologize for the delay here, but it has been that kind of a day. You know, the kind of day where you have something really important to get to, but of course you have one misadventure happening after the next. So, yeah, that kind of day. I also do apologize for Raven not being able to join us quite yet. She's having a few issues with Amazon that must be resolved before any fun times with her Rob and her Rob's audience can partake in. So, you know, gotta take care of that. So, I'm going to log into the chat here via my phone so we can see exactly what's going on here. All right, so how we doing? Let's see who we got in stream here. We've got Lucky Luke, Adorable Nurse, hello, Thread Hood Treco, and Vulpus, Aelurus, hello, nice to meet you. Claire Carey, Jose the Beast, hello, your king, King Bob is here for you all. Yes, there's Raven apologizing for the crap that she has to deal with Amazon right now. Sorry, baby. Bobsheaux, there's a TV show called Mega Man Fully Charged, and there isn't a second season of the show. Was it canceled? Sorry to hear that. Looking good. Why, thank you, Michael Frank. It's all for you, baby. Ironhide, literally the only good thing about Bayformers. At the risk of offending my audience, I will move on from that statement. Hello, Matt. Hello, Goosebumps. Hello, Take Ace. And a big hello from Holland from Martin van der Veen. Hello, Martin. Ashitaka64SP says, "Oh, never caught you doing a live stream before. Hi. Hello. Nice to see you." And how wonderful. I'm only a few seconds behind as far as lag goes. This is great. Wow, this is the largest audience I've seen for one of these streams in a while. Very observant, Matt. Maybe I should do this more often. I'd dangle a few patron-exclusive streams here and there just to really draw in more people, get them really pissed off for those who can't come to those. Oh, those patrons, I hate them. I will come to this next stream. I should review Scooby-Doo too. Ugh. Scooby movies. That would not make for a very good review, mostly because I was never the kind of guy who liked Scooby-Doo even as a kid. See, at the time, I didn't realize that it was supposed to be kind of a parody of itself. So here I am seeing the exact same thing over and over and over again, and my little stupid brain is watching this and thinking, oh my god, can't they think of anything new to do? Come on, you guys. CWD Trixie has never seen one of my live streams either. So, welcome to the stream, Trixie. I'm doing very well, Christian Bennett. Thank you for asking. Goth Nerd, you have not missed anything, mostly because I just got here like 2 minutes ago. This was supposed to be scheduled for 5 o'clock, but too many things I got going on all at the last second that must be taken care of. Pardon me while I plug my phone in, by the way, which is telling me that it's about to die. Tank Ace asks, Bobsheaux, are you ever going to get around to Balto? Perhaps your most requested movie to finally kill the bad memories of Alpha and Omega. That is a very charming thought, that something might just kill my memories of Alpha and Omega. But, unfortunately, the memories will never die. One, because they're my most popular reviews next to maybe Cool Cat. And two, rumors cannot yet be confirmed, but I think they're making a 9th movie. Oh, yeah. There's some speculation, whispers here and there among the fan community about something called Alpha and Omega Tropical Vacation. I am not kidding. I can only hope it is some elaborate joke played by some prankster who made a really, really good-looking title graphic for a possible Alpha and Omega 9. But, oh God, no. Just let it die. What do you people want from me? I can only say, oh my God, this is stupid so many ways. Oh. Let's see. Batman fan says, hi, Bobsheaux. Yes, pardon the awkward silence here as I'm trying to talk with you guys since Raven can't. Again, she is a little bit occupied at the moment. Or is she... Let's see. Missed what she said there in Skype. Just a minute, please. What did she say? No. It's sounding like we're getting ever that much closer to getting this issue of hers resolved, so good. Uh-oh, Red Hood Treco has to go. Bye, Red Hood. Nice seeing you for a little bit anyway. Some dude who draws 93 asks, Bob, are you aware of the Maleficent sequel? Yes, I am aware of the Maleficent sequel. I'm also aware of its incredibly stupid title, Maleficent 2, Mistress of All Evil. I'm sorry, wasn't the whole point of the first movie supposed to establish that she was just a victim the whole time? Now you're going to try to say that she actually is the self-proclaimed Mistress of Evil? Come on. Ugh. Yeah. You might be able to tell I'm not looking forward to that one. Oy. What are my thoughts on Detective Pikachu? I have no opinion. It looks great. I never would have imagined seeing the Pokemon in a live action setting like it was, but I didn't engage in Pokemon when I was a kid. I was just barely in that age age bracket, I suppose. But while the world was going crazy over Pokemon, I was going crazy over Beast Wars. That was my jam right there. So, Pokemon movies, I don't really care that much about. But if it makes for good material for a review, then I will definitely check it out. At least Catwoman is in the sequel, says Claire Carey. Oh, God, she's not going to be the Mistress of Evil, is she? Michelle Pfeiffer? No. Maleficent! Maleficent is the Mistress of Evil. Come on, guys. Disney, how can you be this embarrassed of your own legacy? Come on. Ugh. I'm still going crazy over Beast Wars, says Michael Frank. As well you should be. That show is freaking awesome. Timultra Spark says that I should review a Mega Man movie made by Blue Core Studios on YouTube. Well, you know me, I'm always open to new material and suggestions and such. I know it sounds weird, but would you be interested in reviewing a Thomas the Tank Engine movie? Oh, dear. I would have to consult my sister about doing this, but suddenly I'm getting this image of reviewing a Thomas the Tank Engine movie with my little nephew, who was just completely gaga for Thomas. Although that was like a year or two ago. Nowadays, his thing seems to be Pac-Man of all things, but hey, that'd be awesome. Would you be willing to review the new Aladdin? Plus, hope you guys love the Herbie picture I drew for you guys. If I recall, we already opened your package there, and yes, we did love it. But Aladdin, Raven's always bugging me about having to watch this movie and that movie with an open mind, and I know she's right. I know she's absolutely right about doing so, because I went into Batman Begins thinking it was going to be terrible. I didn't know who Christopher Nolan was. I didn't know who Christian Bale was. The Batmobile looked like it was going to be as big as a house and just as fast. I'm seeing Morgan Freeman playing what used to be a little nothing role. Lucius Fox? You're getting Morgan Freeman to play Lucius Fox? Oh my god, this movie's going to be terrible because you're trying to distract us with marquee value instead of a decent script. Oh no, this cannot be! But then I saw it and it turned out to be mind-blowing. Oh my god, this is awesome! Of course, only paving the way for the rest of the Dark Knight trilogy. Also awesome. But I hate you, Raven, for being right. I need to watch Aladdin with an open mind. It might be good. I don't know. I'm seeing some rather bad reviews for it here and there. But people had generally negative reactions to Catwoman 2, didn't they? With Halle Berry. And I ended up enjoying that. So I don't know. Who can know, really? Just going to have to wait and see for myself. How about Night of the Headless Horseman for a Bobsheaux review? Oh, I am sorry to disappoint, but I cannot take any requests for Bobsheaux. I have already got all my ducks in a row for that little blog of reviews, and I think you're all going to enjoy it very, very much. Let's see. Live action Atlantis, The Lost Empire. Or as we call it, Avatar. Ha ha ha. No, but you know what? There's an idea. If you're going to remake something that could stand a little bit of improvement. Not a whole lot of people were crazy about the Black Cauldron. Do the Black Cauldron. That could deserve to have some fresh blood put into it. I don't know. Just throwing that out there. Let's see. A live-action Treasure Planet would be beautiful. Oh my god, steampunk is so big right now. How did that movie fail? Seriously, how did that flop? It was a great take on a classic concept. You get a real sense for how Jim Hawkins and Long John Silver really did have that kind of connection between them. So it's kind of tragic seeing them have to become enemies like they do. But yeah, Treasure Planet, that's got a really worse rap than it deserves to have. Maybe I will review the Simpsons movie in greater detail, but oh man. No, you know what I really need to do? I need to just forget that The Simpsons ever existed after season 8. Everything after that is just, what are we doing here? What's the point? You don't care anymore. Why are we supposed to? I'm gonna go over to check and see if we got any new developments with Raven. Developments. Typing. Still typing. This is going to be long and ranty. Okay, so sorry, just had to make sure that everything's going all right on Raven's end. It's looking like her issue is getting resolved, but we're not quite sure yet. So, fingers crossed. In the meantime, before we get this show on the road, spend a few more minutes chatting with you guys because this is great. Yes, upon recollection, you're absolutely right, Gothner. And the rats from the Nutcracker, the Untold Story, were Diesel Punk and not Steampunk. My bad. I don't know my punks. Be fun if we could get a reboot of Fraggle Rock. Yeah, I probably should take a look at that new Muppet Babies reboot that they got going on. That's working. So, yeah, why not Fraggle Rock? Ooh, Raven says, I'm not ready for voice suggestions yet, but I will be soon. Start thinking of them, but hold your suggestions until I give you the go-ahead. So, yes, you heard the lady, folks. Let's start thinking of some voices for me to do here. And just got a message from Raven. Almost done, she says. Hooray! Thank you, Pizbet, for loving my videos. I do try to make them awesome. Gununderman asks, will we see Raven's face even if we didn't pledge to the campaign? I am sorry, but that's not how campaign and such rewards work. If you want to get this particular prize, then you need to contribute this much. I'm sorry, that's just how that works. In the meantime, you're just going to have to be satisfied with the image of me making out with a 6-foot cartoon Raven. So, I love you too. You can take that to the bank. I should review Fantastic Mr. Fox. I should, because I need to give that movie a piece of my mind. Pete Hill asks, what do I think of the works of Raymond Briggs? I couldn't say off the top of my head because the name Raymond Briggs is not leaping out at me. Do I know some of his works? I don't know, but Raymond Briggs, I don't know him as a person. Vulpus Aliorus, I'm sorry, I'm botching up your name, something awful, aren't I? Says that I should do Dishonored Wolf. Oh, guys, this isn't fair. Why are you asking me to do these voices of my fellow reviewers? I feel like I'm making fun of them. And I am, basically. You're asking me to be uncool to my fellow people. Oh, you got Raven calling me. Come on. Hello.
Hello, hello.
She's here. Hooray.
I'm here.
Woo. The awkwardness can now die.
You're doing fine.
Oh, thank you. You're just saying that.
No, it's true. You were. Okay, guys. I'm ready for voice suggestions. I'm sorry for the delay.
Woo. Hey, it's okay. The important thing is you got it done.
There was almost bloodshed.
Oh, I'm sure there was.
Shit was about to go down, I assure you.
Mm-hmm.
You mess with my kid, I'm not having it.
Nope.
Will not have it.
Nope.
Oh, I have so many papers. Papers from last night, papers from 2 days ago. So many papers.
Sorry.
Okay.
And sadly, we did not get any votes for this block of stories.
Okay, so we will also be taking votes for which block you'd like to hear, 1, 2, 3, or 4. And if none of you vote, then oh well, we'll just.
And it's up to Raven to decide.
It's up to me.
As the tiebreaker.
It's up to me. I don't have time to talk. Oh, it was Amazon. My refund has been issued.
That's good, right?
Yes.
Okay, good.
I'll take care of ordering that right after the stream.
Raven's angry.
Mm-hmm. Charge me for something and then you cancel my order? No.
Love you.
Love you too.
Yay.
Just like you're on my good side.
Yes, I am.
Okay, give me a minute. Scrolling up.
Sure.
Find it. That's a good one.
In the meantime, I will be grabbing the books we will read from, even though I don't know what stories they will be. We got...
I don't think Bobsheaux is familiar with Daria.
I'm not familiar with Daria, no. Sorry. But yes, here we go. Today's readings will be taken from
everything.
Power to the Princess, 5-minute Avengers stories, 5-minute Batman stories, and then finally we're closing things up with a couple of stories from The Melancholy Death of Oyster Boy by Tim Burton. Love it. You almost ready to roll, baby?
Almost. Give me a moment. I just got here.
No moments. You must be on time immediately and ready to roll.
I could just let you be on your own. I could just watch this stream.
Hey, you know what's
I don't have to participate.
You know what's really fun? Issuing out moments.
Is what?
Issuing out moments.
Issuing out moments?
Yes. Take all the moments you need.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
That was the joke.
Well, it didn't make any sense.
You don't make any sense.
Bobby Generic?
Bobby Generic from Bobby's World.
Okay. I love him. Don't do it yet, but yeah, I love him.
Never thought I would hear his voice in Hansel and Gretel, but there you go.
I love Howie Mandel.
What the hell was he doing here? Don't want you around? No more? No more.
No more? No more. And don't you come back? No more. No more.
Yes, that's right.
That's a new one.
What's that?
I can tell you.
Don't. But we got to give him some old ones, you know.
Oh, we will.
You know what I mean.
I'm ignoring you. I don't even know you. Smile all you like.
But you like it, right?
Do you know
Baby,
who
I love
Raymond
to
Briggs
see you
is?
smile. I don't, actually. And I was actually talking about that earlier. Am I familiar with Raymond Briggs' works? I don't know.
The Snowman and When the Wind Blows.
The Snowman. I was going to say, I know that name. I know it. It's in the back of my mind somewhere. But yeah, okay. The creator of The Snowman. Yes. Yes.
You think I'm not being judged on my handwriting, man? I am scrawling.
It's okay. We all are from time to time.
I've seen your handwriting.
Oh, yes. So you know.
Scrawl.
Uh-oh, did you see that? I was being arrogant.
You arrogant American.
No.
How dare. As my son says. Oh,
how dare.
Hey, Bobsheaux, did you hear that Blue's Clues is coming back in November?
I heard something about that, yes.
I love Blue's Clues.
It's not Blue's Clues if there's no Steve.
It's Blue's Clues without Steve. Steve, there was Joe. Now there's someone new.
Yeah, for a single season.
Oh, shut up. It's gonna be good. Blue's Clues is amazing.
Uh-huh. I just think it's amazing how I'm able to to properly portray a disgruntled Blue with absolutely nothing to work with but inflection. How many things could I possibly be saying with that? I don't know. They're infinite, but you know what I'm saying.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
I'm never gonna get caught up.
Oh my goodness, indeed. That's just wrong. Pardon me. I am haphazardly skimming through Power to the Princess, the first book from which we'll be reading. And here comes Cinderella, who is all dressed up for the ball. She's all in green. They made her ball gown ecologically sound.
Good Lord.
Ugh.
There's nothing wrong with ecological soundness.
There is not. There's not, but come on.
Honey, are you familiar with Borderlands?
No, I'm not.
Okay, sorry guys. He doesn't video game very often.
Nope, I'm stuck in the days of Super NES and PS1. And what's up with this horse? Hey, I can see your soul.
Yes, Shay J Multiversal. I do remember the drawing, and I remember you.
What drawing is that?
Of us with Herbie.
That's right. Yes. Which I don't think we've posted yet because I'm terrible. Gotta get on that.
Okay, almost done.
Bella's a cop in Fairyland Police. Really? Really?
I don't think that Bobsheaux has seen the new It, so I don't think he can do Bill Skarsgård's Pennywise. So
I'm afraid not.
We'll just say Pennywise. He can do the Tim Curry Pennywise.
I was just say sorry.
You do need to see that movie. Maybe we can see it in August.
I was gonna say I'm thinking that's gonna be an August movie.
Yes, so I can climb on top of your head because it's scary.
Yes, and Brightborn.
Yes. Oh my god.
That looks delightfully wrong.
Ikari Kid? No, he's not doing a cokehead impression. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Okay. All right. I think we got enough to get started.
Okay.
Let's start with Mickey Mouse.
We
don't know what we're doing yet.
No, we don't know what we're doing.
No one voted.
No one said anything about which block of stories to do?
No, and it was all blocks that we put together, or what did we do?
They're one story each from Power to the Princess, Avengers, Batman, and 2 stories from Oyster Boy. So yeah, they're all collections that we've compiled ourselves, and no one apparently voted on any of them.
Let's do the 4th block.
The 4th block includes Evangeline and the Frog Prince, Friends for Life, Battle in the Batcave, and Robot Boy and Anchor Baby. Okay, let's start things off with Evangeline and the Frog Prince. Mickey Mouse, you said?
Mickey Mouse, yes.
Let's see, what page is that? That would be page 90. The very last story, the literal bottom of the barrel here for this book. I'm sorry, I'm baffled by the final image of the story preceding this one with Snow White. Is it me, or are Snow White and the Evil Queen actually enjoying each other's company?
Like Maleficent. I'm sorry, but that does remind me of that scene in Maleficent.
I was trying to avoid that.
It's not my fault. I wasn't.
You know, writers, even in a world where you're trying to encourage girl power, female empowerment, all that, you can tell your little girl audience the truth, that sometimes there are bad women out there. Now, granted, it's not incredibly likely that their stepmothers are going to want them dead because they think they're more beautiful than they are, but come on. Come on! She literally has no identity aside from Evil Queen. She needs to be an evil queen. Okay, moving on to Evangeline and the Frog Prince, as read by Mickey Mouse. In old times, when people visited wishing wells regularly, there lived a king with 5 daughters. 4 of them have been recognized for their special talents. One was a celebrated ballerina, the other a brilliant chef who worked magic with knives. No, she didn't. Another painted frescoes while balancing on scaffolds in tall towers, and the last raced horses while standing on top of them. Princesses. Sure. These 4 princesses were all nimble and deft. Evangeline, Evan. No. So let's get this straight. You want to instill girl power in your little girl audience reading this by giving your heroines male names. Yeah, okay, fine.
No.
That's what they're doing.
It is a nickname, and there's nothing wrong with that. A name is a name.
Evangeline, the 5th princess, Eventually, the fifth princess, slipped on the wrong voice there, was different. Evan lacked grace, poise, and dexterity. Instead, she forever dropped balls. Whoa, okay. Slipped with stacked dishes. Stacked dishes. Bumped into furniture and hit her head on doorways.
Behave yourself.
Hey, they're the one talking about dropping balls.
You're the one that grabbing yourself over stacked dishes. And because of the lag, it took me a second to see that.
Well, hey, at least it's only like 2 or 3 seconds, right?
By the way, Bobsheaux barely knows Harry Potter. I made him watch the movies very recently, so he's really not up for doing voices from Harry Potter.
Sorry, no.
I'm trying to fix him. I am trying.
Although I will do this little voice from Harry Potter. What could be safer than Hogwarts? Anything!
By the way, are you guys all playing with Harry Potter Wizards Unite? Are you all playing the new game? Because my son and I are obsessed. We love it so much. I'm already level 16. I am a Slytherin Magizoologist.
Of course you are. My baby's a Slytherin. Oh, yeah.
You got it.
Next voice.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, we are doing something, aren't we?
Yes.
G1 Soundwave.
Next to the king's castle, there was a large dark forest. In the forest was an old linden tree, and beside the linden tree there was a well. In the forest, Evan watched caterpillars, collected lightning bugs, and sketched the wildlife that gathered near the linden tree.
Okay, so instead of pointing out how this particular princess is very clumsy, why not say that she's sketched?
She spent as much time by the well as she could, trying to wish her woes away and begging for a cure for clumsiness.
Next.
Well, because someone has donated to the stream, we will skip to that one. Bobby Jennerick. I love that voice.
Come on, Wishing Well. All my sisters are so light-footed and elegant. Can't I just have a morsel of that? Evan pleaded. After many ungranted wishes, Erin decided to take matters into her own hands. The princess snuck into her sister's chambers and helped herself to some of their agility games. A balance beam, a tower of teacups, and a set of gold juggling balls. The balance beam proved difficult to maneuver, and Evan always landed with a thud. The stack of teacups came to a clatter every time she tried to carry them down the hall.
Every time? They survived the first crash? Okay.
Can you practice that somewhere else? 7 sisters yelled. So Evan set off for the linden tree with a set of golden juggling balls.
If I may, the next time you do Bobby,
you'll have to do it really slowly because he's a little boy.
I can't do his voice, but
well, yeah, but
you have to
that's
talk like a little boy. You're going too fast.
no, that's
Talk that fast.
no, that's how fast you talked.
No.
Yeah. Don't remember that clip that we used for the review?
No.
He talked at that speed.
Early Bobby's World was not like that.
I don't remember early Bobby's World. I'm just remembering what I remember.
You're wrong.
You're wrong.
You're wrong. The next voice is Mark Hamill's Joker.
Well,
guys, please only suggest it once, and if it doesn't come up in a few minutes, then you can suggest again. But just suggesting the same thing over and over again, I can't keep up with that.
Well, she said to the Wishing Well, if you can't help me, I'll sort this myself. I'm going to learn how to juggle. That will surely cure my clumsiness. No. The golden balls went up. The golden balls went down, and sadly, not one landed in Evan's palm. She practiced and chased the balls all afternoon. Just as the day was nearing to a close, she gave them one last grand toss. Of course, they did not fall into her hands, but instead fell to the ground and rolled right into the well. Ah, grr! Evan stomped her feet and let off steam. Those were borrowed, she lamented. Next.
Tim Curry as a Three Musketeers villain was a sponsored suggestion.
Oh boy. But suddenly she heard a voice from the darkness of the well. What is the matter, princess? Evan looked closely into the water to see where the voice was coming from, and saw a frog. Oh, hey, frog, she said, disappointed. I'm upset because my sister's golden juggling balls have fallen into the well. Not to worry, answered the frog. I can help you. You'll just owe me a favor. Whoa.
Oh, hi, Moonbeam. Remember Moonbeam, don't you? He made us that very nice video.
That's right. Hello, Moonbeam. Whatever you want, I've got a lot of fancy things I never even wear or use, as I'm far too clumsy. I could loan you something. Loan something to a frog? Okay.
Tim Curry saying, hey, frog. That was pretty funny.
Oh, hey, frog. Oh, hi, Froggy. How's your sex life?
Oh, no. All right, the next voice.
Just a moment.
Oh, no.
Taken care of.
Please help Bobsheaux. Make Bobsheaux his full-time gig so he can get the hell out of there and stop dealing with little yappy dogs that belong to his landlord.
Who do nothing about them. Yeah.
Oh, it's making his blood pressure go up.
Next voice.
The next voice is, I don't remember, have I asked you to do Mark Hamill's Joker?
We just did that,
You
yes.
did that. Okay, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
The Martian from Mars Attacks?
The frog answered, I do not want your finery. I'd probably get it all slimy. I'm just looking for a companion and playmate. Maybe I could join you tonight for supper. If you promise this, I'll dive down and bring your golden balls back. Oh, that'd be great, Evan said. I promise, no problem. But she thought to herself, my family will surely think I'm uncouth if I bring home a frog. Yes, because up until now, you've had no problems, right? Next.
Me. Particularly a bad impression of me is what was requested.
A bad impression of Raven.
If you're feeling brave.
Well, bad can mean anything, so here goes.
As soon as the frog heard her say yes, he dove to the bottom of the well. He paddled up a short time later with the golden juggling balls in his mouth. Hi-oh! And balanced on his head. The princess was filled with joy when he saw her sister's items again. He packed them up and ran off, totally forgetting her promise to the frog. Thank you, my naughty boys and girls.
Well, that wasn't the one that I thought you were going to do, so I guess it's okay.
What did you think I was going to do? Oh, God, no. No, 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 no. No, no. No. No, 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 no.
Saved yourself.
No.
Many hours of punishment.
You guys think that Gilbert Gottfried and Pee Wee Herman are bad? No, 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 no. You have no idea.
Go away, child. I'm doing a live stream. Just for reference, I don't think you can do. Are you familiar with the musical Cats?
No, I'm not.
Right. I love Rum Tum Tugger, and
You love who?
he's hot. Rum Tum Tugger,
Okay.
the sexiest cat alive, man.
Sorry, that title belongs to Julie Newmar. Thank you.
Oh, well, the sexiest male cat alive. How about that?
Thought that was me.
Well, I don't think of you as a cat.
No, I'm a raccoon. Yay.
Hi, Richard. Okay. Anyway, we're telling people way too much.
Hello, Zigzag.
Okay, the next voice is Groucho Marx.
I don't know Groucho Marx.
Torgo. I don't know why he's so damn popular, because he's horrible.
Oh, wait. Called the frog. Take me along. I cannot run as fast as you. Oh, that's just too perfect. Now I'm just seeing this little frog with little hobbly legs with giant knees. But Evan had hurried ahead and left the frog behind. Later that day, the princess sat down to supper with the king and her sisters and all the people of the court. It was a fancy feast. They even served them in the little tins that said fancy feast on them. So Evan had tucked her napkin around her neck and was trying her best not to spill. Yeah, she was wearing a royal bib. Next voice.
Give me a moment. I'm sorry. My family has no respect for me. I am going to try to... Do not disturb.
Sorry.
Okay, pardon me. Next voice is a... Now, this is particular. Disgruntled Goofy.
Disgruntled Goofy.
It's disgruntled Goofy. Blah, blah, blah. We're not doing PewDiePie. Please stop suggesting it.
The room was super quiet, and everyone could hear the chewing and swallowing, the slurping and the wiping. Then, as she stirred her broth, Evan thought she'd heard another wet sound. Drip, drop, drip, drop. She checked her dish. It sounded like it was coming from outside of the marble steps. Plip, plop, plip, plop. The sound grew louder, and people began to take notice. Soon there came a knock at the door, and a voice called out, "Princess, I've come for supper. Is now a good time?"
He's not political either, so he's not going to be able to do many politicians, but I don't think he knows who Rick Sanchez is.
No, sorry.
No.
But you know, I could do some others.
Moving on.
Taco drool.
Homer Simpson.
Why, who could that be? Asked the king. Evan, see if they'll join us, will you? Evan rose from the table and ran to see who was outside. She opened the door, and there on the threshold was the frog, looking hopeful and excited. Panicked, Evan slammed the door shut and returned to the table. The king saw that Evan looked shocked. Hey, kiddo, why are you upset? Who is at the door? Was it a giant, a troll, a witch, or a warlock? And a king who says, hey, kiddo. I can't help but imagine this is the king from Jim Henson's Frog Prince, with Jim Henson playing the king. Hey, kiddo, why are you upset? Who was at the door? Next voice.
The Frenchman from Monty Python.
Oh, no, she answered. It's a frog.
I'm so sorry, Vulpus. Oh, I was mistaken.
Yeah?
I made a mistake.
What mistake was that?
It wasn't a politician. Carry on.
Okay, still don't know who Rick Sanchez is, but...
From Rick and Morty.
Nope.
The drunk grandfather.
Mm-mm.
You still can't do it, but I'm sorry. I thought I was...
Sorry. Everyone looked puzzled. What does the frog want from you? The sisters inquired. Evan propped her elbows on the table and launched into an explanation. But I really didn't think through the promise, she said at the end of the story. I didn't think he would actually come, but now he's here and wants to join us. But then there came a second knock at the door, and a voice called out, Young princess, if you're within, open the door, would you please? Don't you recall this story? Or would you recall this day, what you said well to me? Next one.
Hank Hill.
Ugh. The king gave Evan a knowing look. My dear, we always keep our promises. Go let the frog in. Ugh. Reluctantly, Evan went and opened the door. The frog followed the princess to her chair, hopped up, and drew a napkin to his chin. The princess hesitated until finally the king reminded her to take a seat. With the frog seated in her spot, she lifted him onto the table and sat beside him. Now push up your plates closer so we can all eat together, prompted the king. What in the hell? Next.
Killer Tomato.
Nope.
Okay. Cobra Commander.
The frog enjoyed his meal, but Evan was a little embarrassed. Not only had everyone learned of her misstep, but now she had a frog as her dinner guest. If everyone didn't think she was a royal mess before, she was sure they would now. But to her astonishment, the frog was an elegant guest. He ate heartily, and even though he spilled a little, he nearly fell in the dessert. Everyone enjoyed his company and welcomed him at the table. The king could see Evan was troubled. You should not despise someone who has helped you in a time of need, he whispered. You might have more in common than you think.
This is a weird take on the story.
Tim Burton.
God. I'm sorry. But he's a frog, Dad.
He's dead. He's not in heaven. He's alive.
He's always listening.
Yes, good. Trash your idol, honey.
No. But he's everywhere, Dad. He's slippery and messy and dripping everywhere, and he's messy and dripping and sounds like someone else I know, said the king, smiling. Evan sighed. I suppose you're right. Evan, when the dishes were cleared, Princess Evan picked up the frog, carried him upstairs, and set him on her best pillow. I'm sorry if I was rude. I'm not used to having friends over. To tell you the truth, I don't have a lot of princess friends. They're usually off doing more dainty things. Really? You show me one princess doing one dainty thing in this book.
Sunken Seas and Darth Madara. Let's be specific. Which Johnny Depp and which Jim Carrey, please? That is a very interesting note. Connor Johnson tells us that Eric Carle, who I know did The Hungry Hungry Caterpillar, just turned 90 years old, and he's one of his favorite children authors of all time and is still publishing books to this day.
Really?
Really.
Oh, happy birthday, Mr. Carl.
Connor, did you have a voice suggestion to go along with your sponsored note?
Or just bringing that to everyone's attention so they can all wish you a happy birthday.
Oh, is it today his actual birthday?
I assume so. If this commenter was bringing it up.
And someone saw someone on Let's Make a Deal today who looked just like you.
Weird. I've got too many doppelgangers.
That was pretty good Burton, by the way.
Thank you.
Okay, so the next voice is, at least until we hear from Connor, the next voice will be Starscream.
I'm sorry if I was rude. I'm not used to having friends over. To tell you the truth, I don't have a lot of princess friends. I already read this before, didn't I? You fool! That's all right, said the frog. Believe me, I understand. I don't have a lot of friends in the world. I'm a bit of an odd one out myself. As her guest dozed, the princess stayed awake and observed him with curiosity. She noticed he shivered a bit, So she brought him a warming lamp. You know, like all princesses have just on hand. She noticed his feet were losing their damp, so she quietly crept into the royal library and, by candlelight, regarded a reference text that explained how to prepare a foot soak for complicated amphibian feet. You know, because there are several volumes on that particular subject. Next.
The next is okay. Write that down. Definitely gotta do him. You haven't done him on the last, I think, 2 streams. How's your cyborg from Teen Titans?
Lousy.
Let's hear some Stewie.
In the morning, the frog slept late. He was so comfortable from all that special accommodations the princess had made for him that he woke refreshed and energized. You look well, said Evan, as she brought in a tray of breakfast. I read up on your species' preferences. I have a slippery breakfast of broth, snail snacks, and fly crispies for sprinkling. Is that to your liking?
No.
Okay, she can't cook. This was clearly explained. Where did she get this stuff?
Prepackaged.
Of course, there'd be prepackaged stuff in this kingdom of hers. Wow, that's really cool of you, said the frog, scarfing up the breakfast. Actually said the word scarfing in a princess book. Okay. Evan lit up. Yeah, I learned a lot while you were sleeping. I read a couple of books on amphibians. Your variety is really rare. Did you know that? Next voice.
Inigo Montoya.
The frog laughed. Yeah, I'll say. If you're interested, I can introduce you to some other exceptional creatures. I know all the lesser-known rainforest bugs, rare birds, and a couple of caimans. Caimans? Caimans?
C-A-I-N what?
I don't know what a caiman is.
Caimans?
Maybe it's caiman. What's a caiman?
The Cayman Isle. Cayman Isle, the islands. It's I don't know. What the heck is a caiman?
I don't know.
It's an island.
But anyway. Oh, that'd be
An
so.
animal from the island.
Oh, that'd be so cool. Evan nodded. Yes. It's very princessly.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
This is new and improved girl power princesses, don't you know?
Uh-huh. Next voice.
The next voice will be Joker from the animated series.
We did that.
Okay. See, you guys, I know nothing.
It's okay.
I was wondering, is there a different one than Mark Hamill's Joker? Okay, no, you got me. Okay, Crash Bandicoot. I know he dances. Does he have a voice?
He only says,
Whoa!
so
Okay, there
there you go. I did Crash Bandicoot.
Dr. Cortex.
And with that, the two packed a backpack for jungle exploring, grabbed a knitted hat and hiking boots for Evan, and set off for the rainforest. The frog hopped ahead and rattled off facts about endangered and exotic creatures. This isn't a real frog, you understand, right, Story? It's his prince. Sorry, spoiler alert. What would this guy possibly know about all these exotic creatures? Over the course of the thrilling day, the frog introduced Evan to a rainbow llama, a near-extinct bat, a cactus spider family, growing water striders, a luminescent jaguar, twin ostriches, and a black and white peacock. Evan took copious notes and sketches, and asked all sorts of questions about nutrition, sleep patterns, and coloring. She was in her element. Okay.
Thank you, Goth Nerd. I knew I had heard of them before. Caimans are actually small, like crocodiles.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they're small and they have really long noses, if I remember correctly.
And of course, it makes perfect sense that the prince who wants nothing to do with, being a frog at all would know all the ins and outs of the various wildlife. After being a frog for, a day?
Okay, anybody putting the same suggestion over and over and over again is going to end up getting banned from chat. I'm sorry.
What's being said?
Yui Bowl.
Ooey bowl.
It doesn't matter. It's not that turn. It's not their turn, and we don't need to have the same thing suggested literally 7 times in a row with almost nothing in between.
Let's cool it a little bit, okay, guys?
Yeah. It's one person in particular. I understand you're excited. We want everybody to have fun.
Yes, we do.
One suggestion, wait a little while. If you don't hear it, make it again.
Yes, no spamming, no flooding or anything.
Yeah. BJ Wolf from the Paw Pet Show.
Oh, wow. BJ Wolf. I can't remember what he sounded like, actually.
You're a terrible fan.
Sorry.
All right, G1 Megatron.
When the sun set that evening, the two friends pored over Evan's notes together by the well. Thanks for a super day, the princess beamed. You're welcome to supper with us anytime. You know so much about the animals hidden in our forest. I can't wait to learn more. It'd be my pleasure, princess. I had fun too. It's so rare to meet people who take such an interest in the inhabitants of the rainforest, said the frog, extending a sticky fist for a knuckle bump.
Hell is this book? Next voice.
Next voice is Gizmo.
We did Gizmo, actually. Gizmo is just Bobby Generic.
No, Gizmo from the Gremlins.
Yeah.
Woody from Toy Story.
But Evan went in for a high five and covered the little frog's hand. As the two made contact, a great green lightning bolt shot out from the well, and before her very eyes, her froggy friend turned into a friendly prince. What am I looking at? Inquired the floored princess.
You're asking us.
This wasn't in any of the books. The prince laughed. I am Prince Pascal. I was enchanted by a wicked witch, and only a person who could see how important even a wee frog could be. A wee frog? What is he, Scottish? A wee frog would rescue me from life in the well. You're welcome anytime to my rainforest kingdom. He bowed deeply with gratitude. Oh dear.
What does it matter?
This book is so stupid.
It really is. This
So-
is such a poorly written book.
So hang on. The prince could only be returned to his original state by someone who recognizes the value of all the various wildlife in the rainforest. This guy did not learn this stuff on his own. He had someone teaching him this, didn't he? He had to have. Why didn't he just go to this person and say, "Hey, give me a high five because I'm the prince, and I'll be back to normal if you just give me a high five because you recognize the value of animal life." And second, high five. Really? Okay, I know you want little girls to be empowered and all that, but do you have to demonize the simple kiss? Really? Somebody kissing a frog? That's going to be way harder than somebody giving a frog a high five. Isn't that where the challenge comes in? If you can see a little frog for being something as being so beautiful that you don't mind kissing it, isn't that the point? See the beauty inside this ugly little nasty thing? Okay, I will kiss you, even though it's really hard for anyone else to do that. There you go. Poof.
Oh my goodness, he's a prince.
Get your head in the game, book. Okay, last voice for the story.
Buzz Lightyear. The ultimate not girl empowerment voice.
Oh, jeez.
Or one of them, anyway.
The princess accepted the generous invitation and would go on to spend many weekends with Pascal, poring over books and specimens and interviewing rare animals that were part of his kingdom. Emmett went on to become a zoologist who discovered whole new frog species during her work in the rainforest. She and Pascal trekked up great mountains to track the elusive sapphire butterfly. After learning more about the first-hand experiences of animals, both domestic and wild, Evan campaigned against keeping animals in zoos, magical or otherwise. Yeah, because that's got something to do with this story. Ugh. Okay, so that was fun.
Not. He said sarcastically.
Let's see what we've got in 5-Minute Avengers next. Friends for Life, starring Vision, apparently. Let's see. Friends for Life. Friends for Life. Ooh, what?
In one version of the story, the frog had to be mutilated to break the spell.
Yeah, now that you bring that up, I'm remembering something about that. Like, was he supposed to be thrown against a wall or something?
Bleh.
Age 157.
Are you
But-
asking me to do Loki from I have done a female version of Loki, but that's not a story that you can listen to on this channel.
No, you're going to have to search for that on your own, and you will not be disappointed.
I do a darn good female Loki.
Oh, yes, you do.
Oh wow.
What?
I'm gonna make you do it.
Oh, what is it?
Yeah, it's not time yet. Worry.
Okay. Friends for Life.
Have you ever seen Mega Man Fully Charged?
No.
Okay, sorry, he can't do the voice from that. We've never seen it. And remember, no anime stuff. He doesn't know.
Sorry.
If any of these are from anime, he's not going to get it. Okay. You ready for the
Well,
voice?
Well, that's not entirely true. The only anime voices I know are from a faux anime, and that's only because they're caricatures of caricatures, and that's Stinkleman 20XD6.
Oh my god. Oh,
Hey,
City-
Stickly Man! What are you doing?
No.
Yes.
But very soon he will be exposed to many anime voices.
Yes, I will.
It's in the works. It's gonna happen, and it's going to be frapping amazing.
Ugh.
I can't wait.
Did you just say frapping?
I did. I'm trying to keep your stream monetized. Okay? Keep it PG, buddy. You're lucky I didn't get on here and curse a blue streak over my dealings with Amazon.
Ooh, very true.
Whew.
Anyway, first voice for Avengers, Friends for Life. What'll it be?
Melvin the superhero.
The Avengers were on the scene of a bank robbery by the supervillain called the Absorbing Man. But Captain America and Iron Man were needed for another mission. So Vision, the Avengers' newest member, jumped into action. The Absorbing Man can turn any substance he touches, such as metal or concrete. Sorry, I think I read that wrong. Can turn into any substance he touches, such as metal or concrete. And if that isn't bad enough, he also carries a chain and ball for extra clobbering power. Why would he do that?
I want to call for that.
I don't want to call for that.
You ready?
I'm ready.
I'm not.
Uh-oh.
Beavis and Butthead. New voices adding to the list of ones that make me want to hurl.
With all the excitement around the Avengers showing up, a crowd had begun to form. Yeah, hey, what's this? A junior Avenger? I'm insulted! Taunted the Absorbing Man. He started to transform into metal. That's pretty cool. And his ball and as he swung his ball and chain around, preparing to pulverize Vision.
Ew.
I can't let you hurt any of these people, you butt munch!
Vision was flying so fast toward the absorbing man that he and the crowd would surely both explode when they collided. Yeah, yeah, fire, fire!
Ew. Why are you so good at those voices? Awful.
I love you.
You don't.
Said you.
Ready for the next one?
Yes.
I think I'm on the right list. Oh well. Hopefully I didn't get it mixed up. Anyway, it's a lot of voices.
There.
Crypt Keeper.
But Vision had many powers other than flight. Surprising the crowd, the absorbing man's blow went right through Vision as if he were a ghost. That was how Vision got his name. Really? With powers like that, he should be called, I don't know, Ghost Man or something. He looked like a strange Vision when he became intangible.
That's really dumb.
The absorbing man was shocked. What the? He cried out. Now that the villain was off balance and couldn't get out of the Avengers' way, Vision pulled his fist back and... Next.
Oh. Gur from Invader Zim.
Oh, Lord.
The crowd scattered with the power of Vision's punch. Kablam!
What the heck is that?
In the confusion, a 10-year-old boy named Derek got separated from his parents. He couldn't find them everywhere. Oh, no! After making sure the absorbing man wouldn't give the police any more trouble, Vision scanned the area and noticed Derek frantically searching the crowd. Derek was scared already, having lost his parents, but what really scared him was Vision himself. Oh, no!
Oh,
Tacos!
that was painful.
Yeah, I know. I suck. Sorry.
Good gracious.
Whoa, dear.
What?
And what's really scary is that within moments, they're about to make out. Oh, my.
Oh my, indeed.
Next voice.
The next voice is Pokey.
Vision was an android. An android was a robot shaped like a person, but made of plastic and metal, and Vision had a bright red face. To make matters worse, Vision didn't always understand human emotions, especially when they weren't based on logic. He was a little confused as to why the boy was still terrified after the supervillain had gone. He finally asked, "May I help you?"
Yes, the clueless robot. There you go.
This is not time for it, but I'm asking you because I don't recognize any of these words. Kirk Lazarus as Lincoln Osiris from Tropic Thunder.
Nope.
If this is anime stuff, guys, he doesn't know it. He can't do it.
Tropic Thunder was a Ben Stiller and Robert Downey Jr. Movie.
Oh, okay, well, I don't know it. Anyway, as long as it's not anime stuff, continue to suggest. Just we don't know it. Okay, or I don't know it.
Yeah.
You ready for the next one?
Yes.
Thanos, in particular, MCU's Thanos, if possible. Pass.
Pass.
Toucan Sam. When did he become popular? You had this request before.
Yeah, just yesterday, actually.
But Derek was still afraid, even when Vision offered to help him. "Whatever you are," Derek yelled, "stay away from me." Sometimes androids have a hard time making friends. Vision saw his reflection in Derek's helmet and realized androids could be scary to humans.
Really? This guy looks scary? All right.
"I'm called Vision. I'm here to help you," he said. "I may look like a robot, but I'm still a nice person. What is your name?" Derek was unsure what he should do. Vision looked so stiff, so much like a machine, that Derek was nervous about talking to him. Derek stuck out his tongue at Vision just to see what the android would do. Vision was confused at first, but then decided to play along.
Yeah, so apparently that's what this is all about. He's sticking out his tongue because he's scared of this robot, which is why he's only a few inches away from his face. Makes sense. Next voice.
Next voice is Spyro the Dragon.
Pass.
Bart Simpson.
After their short game, Derek felt better about talking with Vision. I'm Derek, he said. I lost my parents and I want to go home. Vision saw that Derek was nervous about finding his parents. To help take Derek's mind off his worry, Vision asked, how would you like to see some of the things I can do? Derek nervously asked, like what?
Next. That sucked.
Pennywise.
Vision continued to scan the crowd for Derek's parents, but he didn't see them yet. He knew he needed to distract Derek until he found them. Like this! Vision put his hand over Derek's head, and the end of the boy's hairs jumped toward Vision's hand. Derek laughed. Whoa! How do you do that? Vision explained. By moving my electrical current around, I can create static electricity so that your hair stands up on your head.
Oh, great. To put the boy at ease, you just shock him right in his face.
Okay, here's a challenge for you. You might want to get a little sip of water.
Oh boy.
Someone requested one of my least favorite voices, but they want you to sing while you do it.
What?
Sing me some Gilbert Godfrey.
Okay.
Let's see if this makes it more bearable.
Da-da-da-da-da. How about this? Vision asked before he walked right through the wall. Derek was afraid for a moment that Vision had left him.
It doesn't make it better.
It don't make it better. La 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 la. But Vision pumped down the wall behind Derek and surprised him. Gotcha! That's so cool, Derek said. You can play a lot of tricks on people with that power rabbit.
Okay, that's done. You've done
Singing
that. Oh, my
Gilbert
ears are
Godfrey.
bleeding.
Okay. You heard it here first, people.
Oh my lord. That didn't make it better.
I love you.
Oh,
Next
I
voice.
can't go on.
What?
I can't go on.
You can do it, baby. I believe in you.
Give me some Captain Jack Sparrow.
I was going to say, there's a nice palate cleanser here.
Yes.
I like to spook Captain America whenever I get the chance, said Vision. Derek laughed. You play jokes on Captain America? On the Captain America? Can't believe it. I'm stronger than humans too, but don't worry. I never use my strength against normal people, just the really bad ones, Vision said. This is so much fun, Derek said. He wished he had Vision's powers. Vision was confused. He asked, what is fun? How do you get it? How do you get it? Like a protection, maybe? No.
Fox B5 said singing Gilbert Godfrey sound like Joker having a stroke.
Yeah, let's not do that again, shall we?
It didn't make it better.
No, it didn't.
Oh my lord.
Squeak.
Sponsored post is the 13th Doctor from Doctor Who or the 12th. The 12th, that's oh crap. He's not a Doctor Who person, but I am.
I was gonna say
That's I can't think of his name. I'm drawing a blank. The 13th he's not doing. I don't like him. Oh god, it's the Fez is cool guy.
Fezzes are cool.
I wear a Fez now. Fezzes are cool. Why am I completely drawing a blank on his name?
Is it Matt something?
Yes, Matt. Help me, please, chat. Not Peter Capaldi. Peter Capaldi. We don't speak of him.
He's the
Matt
old guy,
Smith.
right?
Thank you.
Matt Smith, that's
Smith.
right.
Can you do Matt Smith?
I cannot do Matt Smith.
Just say, I wear a Fez now. Fezzes are cool. In a British accent.
I wear a Fez now. Fezzes are cool.
Yes. Thank you, chat. Matt Smith. Peter Capaldi, we don't speak of him. He should have stayed playing a Roman emperor. Or Roman whatever game he played. He was good in that.
Yes.
He should have stayed support, not the main guy. The writing was terrible. It really wasn't his fault. Capaldi is a fine actor, but he made a terrible Doctor, mostly because of. Oh wait, it is the 11th. So Capaldi is the 12th.
I don't know.
No.
The point is, I don't know the doctors. Let's move on.
Jodie Whittaker, I haven't watched any of Jodie Whittaker's season yet. I can't wait to do it. But yeah, Matt Smith was the 11th.
I need to go
David
on.
Tennant was the 10th, and my doctor was the 9th.
and Jonah Heston is your doctor.
And Jonah Heston, yes, is my MST3K doctor.
As I've stated, I'm not a Doctor Who fan, so I am in no position to talk about this, but I do have one very simple question I would like to get out there. With the way that doctors regenerate themselves, the Time Lords, so they basically become a new person every couple of seasons or whatever the time scale is.
He doesn't watch Bob's Burgers, guys. Sorry.
No, I don't. Sorry. I needed to preface this idea. I am totally with everyone else in most cases where you have a character and they're given an arbitrary gender swap. But with Doctor Who, doesn't that actually make more sense than a lot of other properties? I mean, the Doctor regenerates so he looks like a completely different person every couple of years. Why not a woman? Is that really that strange? I don't know. Again, not a fan. I'm totally outside the fan base, so I probably don't know what I'm talking about, but just asking that question.
I have no problem with there being a female doctor, but there's a lot of the fandom that does because they have a problem with women. But I'm hearing that the writing for Jodie Whittaker is actually pretty poor, which I wasn't aware of. If that's the case, that's a shame. But
Yes.
that's what we should judge on, not just the fact that she's a woman.
Right.
Because
Exactly.
there's no reason why the doctor can't be a woman.
Really.
And Fox B5 wants to know, are you an MST3K fan?
You don't watch a lot of my show, do you? Really? Me being an MST3K fan is actually what prompted me and Raven to finally meet for the first time. My parents donated $1,000 to their Kickstarter campaign for their relaunch, and one of the top tiers for donating that much were 2 passes to the premiere in LA. And there was no one else I could go with but my lady, so I had to get her down here to come see it with me.
That was so much fun.
It was. And I'm so glad you had so much fun.
Not MST3K, although we are going to go see a Rift Track show.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. It just so happens that on our anniversary itself, they are going to be doing a Rift Tracks live show of Giant Spider Invasion.
Ooh, I can't wait.
Yes, and you hardcore Misty fans in the audience, you remember that movie, don't you? Packers! Woo!
Okay.
Anyway, we're getting horribly sidetracked here. Next voice.
Scrooge McDuck.
You don't know what fun is, Derek asked. Well, I'll show you. Derek strapped on his helmet and jumped on a skateboard to show off his moves. Vision watched Derek and wondered whether he could skateboard too. It turned out that the androids were not built to skateboard. But even though Vision wasn't good at skateboarding, he started to feel something he had never felt before. Derek pointed at Vision with glee. Is that a smile? Asked Derek. Yes, I think it is. Vision, you're having fun. Hang on, I gotta jump back to some of the other artwork here in this story.
By the way, what are we reading?
Smile, smile. I'm reading Friends for Life.
From
5-minute Avenger stories. Yeah, we got a little bit of a smirk here. He knows what smiling is, so what's up with that? I don't know. Anyway, next.
Cool Cat.
Always Cool Cat. Now that Derek was getting to know Vision and had seen him smile, he started to feel safe with the android. Hooray! Derek taught Vision how to have fun. Because they were learning from each other, they were becoming friends. And there's nothing cooler than having friends.
and being friends with an Avenger was awesome! Are you sure you don't mean exquisite? You really want a skateboard? Let me show you how I would do it, Vision said with a grin. Sounds like fun, Derek smiled back. Vision flew, with Derek riding him like a skateboard. This is how the Avengers have fun, Derek. Derek was so excited he yelled out, Wahoo! And then he died. The end.
Really, does this look safe to anybody? I mean, okay, fine, he's wearing pads and a helmet, but... What are you, 50 feet off the ground there? You dead, kid.
His head will be intact.
But his head will be intact, and that's what matters. Next voice.
Barney the dinosaur.
Oh, God.
Derek's parents heard the shout and knew it was their son. They yelled to Derek as they ran across the street toward him and Vision. Vision, alarmed by the yells, thought Derek might be in danger and stood in front of him protectively. And then he blew his parents to goopy smithereens. But then Vision saw the love on their faces and noticed that they had the same eye and hair color as Derek. Derek's parents were found. Mom, Dad, Derek yelled. Their family was back together. Vision knew that Derek would no longer want to spend time with him now that he had found his parents. That made Vision feel sad, another emotion he had not experienced before.
Yeah, so, you know, all the weeks that he's been hanging out with the Avengers before now, he didn't encounter any human emotions in that time. Now is when he's finally feeling everything for the first time. Next.
The next one is The Count from Sesame Street.
Derek's parents were glad Vision had taken care of their son, but they were worried because danger often surrounded the Avengers. Thank you for taking care of Derek, Vision, Derek's dad said. Don't take this the wrong way, but is he really safe with you? What if you get attacked by one supervillain while Derek is with you? Or maybe two supervillains! Next.
Count Olaf.
Vision, feeling even sadder and realizing that perhaps Derek's father was correct, began to float up and away to return to his lonely life. I would never let anyone or anything harm Derek. His safety is my first priority. Don't be mean, Dad. There's nothing to be afraid of, Derek said. Vision is an Avenger and a hero. But most of all, Vision is my friend. He totally spotted him. Next.
Next is Kermit the Frog.
Just hearing Derek call him a friend made Vision feel good inside. He had never had a real friend before, aside from the Avengers. Derek's father relaxed and thanked Vision for keeping Derek safe. Derek's father shook Vision's hand and asked, Would you like to come to dinner with us, Vision? Seems the least we can do after you found Derek. Vision cracked a big smile. I have other matters I need to attend to, sir. But perhaps I could visit Derek tomorrow. We could go to the park together. I need to practice my skateboarding. Vision learned about friendship that day and how to have fun. Derek made a new friend and learned that just because something was a little different did not mean he should be afraid of it. It's not easy being green and with a red face and a yellow cape.
I am afraid that we are going to have to take a short intermission.
Oh? What's that?
Yes. I have to run to the intermission.
You have to run to the intermission.
Talk amongst yourselves, read the chat, I'll be right back.
Actually, while that is going on, I'll go ahead and grab some more water for myself. A little bit parched. I'll be back soon. Just a moment. Okay, and we are back with that. I feel refreshed. Sorry about that. Now we are waiting on Raven to return. And in the meantime, I'll just be chit-chatting with you guys over here. Let's see what we got. Anthony Watson, I'm very good. How are you? I was going to watch some Kitchen Nightmares or continue Helsing when I saw the stream was going live. I have no regrets, says Ashitaka. Thank you.
I'm back.
And she's back.
Sorry about that.
And to answer Vulpus's question, no, I do not watch Bob's Burgers, I'm afraid. Sorry.
You ready for the next voice?
Yes.
Fozzie Bear.
First of all, I needed to see what 5-minute Batman story we're looking at here. That's going to be Battle in the Batcave. Oh my. Let's see. Battle in the Batcave is going to be on page 177. The final story in this book. Here we go. Fuzzy Bear, was it?
Yes.
Battle in the Batcave. On a cold winter night, an explosion shook the streets of downtown Gotham City. Boom! Within moments, the red and blue lights of police cars lit up the scene. Commissioner James Gordon and several other officers quickly exited their vehicles. Near a burning building stood a large masked figure. Freeze, shouted Gordon. Behind him, a half-dozen police officers raised their weapons. Next.
Beetlejuice.
The flames of the burning building grew brighter and brighter. The man stepped closer to the police officers. Well, things are just heating up, Commissioner, he said, letting out a wicked laugh. How's that pretty wicked enough for you? Suddenly, from high above the city, Batman swooped to the ground on his bat rope. The superhero landed in front of his worst enemy. Bane, he grumbled. Next.
Tim Curry. No, I'm sorry, that's the wrong one. Darth Vader.
You remember me, Batman, the supervillain said. He clenched his hand into a fist and cracked his knuckles. Unfortunately, you will soon be forgotten. Bane leaped at the Dark Knight with all his might. Hey, that rhymes. The superhero easily dodged the hulking brute using his expert martial arts skills. Batman snatched a bola from his utility belt. He twirled the weapon above his head and then he flung it at Bane. The rope flew through the air and it twisted around the villain's ankles, sending him to the ground with a loud thud. The bigger they are, the harder they fall, the hero said. And that's right up there with, be sure not to choke on your aspirations, Director Krennic. Really, Batman? Next.
Vincent, have we done Vincent Price this time?
We have not done him yet.
Okay, Vincent Price.
Just then, the wind shifted. A thick cloud of smoke filled the air. For a moment, Batman was blinded. He choked and coughed, unable to breathe. When the smoke finally cleared, the cover of an open manhole rested on the street in front of him. Bane was gone. A few days later, Batman sat inside the Batcave. The top secret hideout was hidden deep below Bruce Wayne's mansion. It contained hundreds of gadgets and weapons, as well as Batman's collection of crime-fighting evidence. Next.
Professor Radigan.
That's the same voice.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know. Dr. Forrester.
The Dark Knight stared at a high-tech map on the Bat computer. Bane couldn't have gotten far, the superhero said to himself. The sewer pipes are dead ends, except for the ones leading to this location. I'd call this a dead end as well, said a voice from behind Batman. At least for one of us.
Next is Eric Cartman.
The superhero turned and spotted Bane on the other side of the Batcave. And he said, "Aye! How you found this place?" He asked, surprised. "A few days in the dark and you learn to follow your instincts," Bane replied. "Like a bat, I suppose."
Sorry, I'm saying this in the wrong voice here. "A few days in the dark and you learn to follow your instincts. Like a bat, I suppose." I was born in it.
Oh my goodness.
Next.
William Shatner's Puss in Boots.
So yeah, just a few days of wandering around in the sewer gets you into the Batcave. Okay.
A Batman stood from his chair and moved towards his enemy. "This cave has only room for one," he said, raising a single finger in the air.
Which finger?
"How about we flip forward?" the villain suggested. He lifted Batman's giant penny. He hurled the 2-20 coin at the hero. Whoosh!
Sorry.
Yes, it actually says whoosh. Next.
Agra from the Dark Crystal.
Ogra from the Dark Crystal. The Dark Knight jumped high to avoid the large coin, flipping forward through the air. The giant penny crashed into a display case. The gadgets and weapons of a dozen criminals spilled out onto the floor. Bane quickly grabbed the Penguin's umbrella off the ground. He pressed a button on the handle, and a fireball exploded through the cave. Well, ask me, what's a fireball? What's it for? Next.
Doc Brown.
Batman twirled and blocked the flame with his fireproof cape. Then he flung a battering at the villain, who swatted away the metal weapon like it was a pesky moth. Bane tossed the umbrella aside and picked up a question mark cane. The weapon had once belonged to Gotham's cleverest crook, the Riddler. "Riddle me this," Bane joked. "How did the Bat feel when he lost his cave?" Shocked, Bane quickly answered. He fired an electric bolt at Batman. Zert! The bolt struck the hero. Electricity jolted through his body, stunning him. Batman stumbled, but managed to keep his balance. Wow, and all that after 1.21 gigawatts. 1.21 gigawatts! Next.
King from The Lion and the King.
Pass.
Beast Wars Megatron.
Then Bane grabbed another weapon from the floor. It was Joker's mallet. "Looks like I'll have the last laugh today. Yes." Whoosh, whoosh. The villain swung the mallet back and forth at Batman. The dazed superhero dodged the blow. Bane swung and missed again and again. "Strike 3, shouted a voice. On the other side of the Batcave stood Robin, Batman's teenage sidekick. He held Mr. Freeze's ray gun. Bane lowered the mallet and struck toward Robin. "Where are your manners, Boy Wonder?" he said. "Don't you know better than to interrupt the grown-ups?" Next.
Tom, we're getting there. We're getting there. It's on the list. Bugs Bunny.
"Yeah, Robin raised the freeze gun. For a cold-blooded crook, you're a real hothead," he said. "Time to chill out." Bzzzt. Robin fired an icy blast at the supervillain. In an instant, Bane froze to a solid block of ice. Bane thanked his young partner. You never were an early bird," the hero joked. "You're right, Batman," Robin agreed, "but I always catch the crook."
Oh, if only I did Doc Brown for this bit. Then I could say with total legitimacy, "I was frozen today!"
So overdone.
Final voice for the story.
Ben Shapiro.
Oh, God. Later at Arkham Asylum, the dynamic duo met with Police Chief Commissioner James Gordon. "Great work, you two," he said. "Bane doesn't remember a thing, but he'll have plenty of time to think in there. Sounds like you had a bad case of brain freeze, if you ask me," Robin said with a smile. "My wife's a doctor, folks." Thank you. Wow, that was... Never thought I could do him. Okay,
I have
and
no reference, but that was good.
let's see. We're moving on to our final stories now. Robot Boy and Anchor Baby.
Oh boy. Don't forget, guys, there is a bonus story. It's an uplifting little romp.
Is it? I don't know what we're doing, actually.
We talked about it.
Is it a continuation of what we did yesterday?
No, because
No.
that was a patron-only live stream, so you don't want to give them chapter 2 when they didn't get to hear chapter 1.
That's what I was thinking, but I can't remember what we discussed because I'm
The
dumb.
book that was sent to you by a fan about the search.
Right. Thank you. Sorry. Anyway, let's see. We are starting with Robot Boy, which is on page 5. And we are doing it with what voice?
Negaduck?
Pass.
Okay. Sorry, Tom. Garfield?
Mr. and Mrs. Smith had a wonderful life. They were a normal, happy husband and wife. One day, they got news that made Mr. Smith glad. Mrs. Smith would be a mom, which would make him the dad. But something was wrong with their bundle of joy. He wasn't human at all. It was a robot boy. He wasn't warm and cuddly, and he didn't have skin. Instead, there was a cold, thin layer of tin. There were wires and tubes sticking out of his head. He just lay there and stared, not living or dead. Next.
Kevin Conroy's Batman.
The only time he seemed alive at all was with a long extension cord plugged into the wall. Mr. Smith yelled at the doctor, "What have you done to my boy? He's not flesh and blood, he's aluminum alloy." The doctor said gently, "What I'm going to say will sound pretty wild, but you're not the father of this strange-looking child. You see, there is still some question about the child's gender, but we think that its father is a microwave blender." Final
Okay.
voice.
Scarecrow from The Wizard of Oz.
The Smiths' lives were now filled with misery and strife. Mr. Smith hated her husband, and he hated his wife. He never forgave her unholy alliance, a sexual encounter with a kitchen appliance. And Robot Boy grew to be a young man, though he was often mistaken for a garbage can.
Good grief. That's terrible.
Like Scarecrow, he has no brains.
I agree. Bizarro Critic Incorporated said that was a weird-ass story. Uh-huh.
It's a Tim Burton story. What do you want? And we are moving on to Anchor Baby. With what voice?
Scooter from the Muppets.
There was a beautiful girl who came from the sea, and there was just one place that she wanted to be. With a man named Walker who played in a band, she would leave the ocean and come onto the land. He was the one that she wanted the most, and she tried everything to capture his ghost. Okay.
How do you know I'm not your aunt, Sharp Blade MC? You don't know. You can't see me.
What?
He says, why do I sound like his aunt? Or their aunt. I don't know if it's a boy or girl. I don't know your gender. Why does
Oh no, it's Robot Boy!
Shut up. Why does Raven sound like my aunt? I said, you don't know. Maybe I am your aunt. Okay, let's have some Majira Strawberry?
Pass.
Sounds anime.
No idea what that is. Huh?
Luigi.
But throughout all their lives, they never connected. She wandered the earth alone and rejected. She was player 2. She tried looking happy. She tried looking tragic. She tried astral projecting, sex, and black magic. Nothing could join them except one thing, just maybe, something to anchor their spirits. They had a baby.
Who is literally an anchor baby.
Oh my god.
Next voice.
Mr. Potato Head.
But to give birth to the baby, they needed a crane. The umbilical cord was in the form of a chain. It was ugly and gloomy and as hot as a kettle. It had no pink skin, just heavy gray metal. The baby that was meant to bring them together just shrouded them both in a cloud of foul weather. So Walker took off to play with the band, and from that day on, he stayed mainly on land. Final voice.
Zerg?
And she was alone with her gray baby anchor, who got so oppressive it eventually sank her. As she went to the bottom, not fulfilling her wish, it was her and her baby and a few scattered fish.
Oh my goodness.
The end.
Wow.
Such cheerful tales, Tim Burton brews.
Mm-hmm. Just a lighthearted romp.
So, yes, we are through with the stories that we established in the video that I was going to be reading from. But now it is time for me to give you a little bit of a bonus story here, which is coming from the book Henry's Quest. And I wish I wrote down who sent this to me because, I should do that with these donations, shouldn't I?
We will be writing them down from now on when he unboxes them.
Yes, indeed.
But please send kids stories for these live streams because they're so much fun.
And eventually we're going to run out of these 5-minute stories, and you don't want me repeating these Tim Burton stories for long, do you?
I don't know, maybe they do.
Maybe.
And on the patron live streams, we read chapter 1 of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy as a bonus story.
Yes, so, all it takes is $1 a month to be one of my patrons, and you can be privy to that too.
Yeah, because he's going to have to finish the book
blinkety,
now.
blink, blink, blink.
And I have to finish the book now.
Mm-hmm.
I think the next live stream, he might just do a couple of chapters from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Having fun with that, huh?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I've never read it before, or I've seen the movie and I didn't enjoy it, but the book seemed, I don't know, less dumb. Even though the funny voices, I don't know. I'm willing to give it a shot.
Speaking of funny voices, what are we going into with this?
Rex from Toy Story.
Oh, God. Once upon a time, there was a very small country surrounded by a very large forest. The people who lived there often told stories about the days when there were open fields and villages where forests now grew, but no one knew whether or not but no one knew whether they were true or not. Anyway, the forest was now so dense that not a soul within living memory had traveled through it, and nothing at all was known about what lay on the other side. Inconceivable! Next.
Slinky Dog.
This small country was ruled over by a king. One day, when the king was still only a very small prince, he found 2 books. They had been used to prop up the back of the nursery cupboard, and so, when years before, the prince's great-great-grandmother had ordered the burning of all books to improve the minds of the people, they had been overlooked. When they were the only books in the whole kingdom, one of them was King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. The prince was so enthralled with this book that after he had been crowned king, he changed his name from George 47th, I think. It's all in Roman numerals. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4 X's, VII. So yeah, 47, I think. To Arthur II, and had the book copied hundreds of times so that everyone could read it. But before long, all his subjects were as keen on chivalry and knight-errantry as the king himself. Yaddle-bye-bowdy.
He doesn't watch Gravity Falls, guys.
No, I don't. Sorry. Next voice.
Herbert the Pervert.
Now, King Arthur II had several daughters, and the time came when the eldest, Princess Isolde, I-S-O-L-D-E, how do you say that?
I think it's Isolde.
Isolde? I don't know. Princess Isolde should have a husband. The king, of course, resolved to find her the most chivalrous and knightly lad possible. I'll take some of that.
Oh my God.
When he had decided the best way of doing this, he issued a proclamation.
Next.
The Tick,
Pass.
Gollum.
His proclamations would probably have pleased even King Arthur's the first himself. It certainly pleased Henry, who was in town doing his shopping when the proclamations went up. Henry was a shepherd, and there were two things that particularly interested him. One was his flocks, and the other was Auntie Mabel's fairy tale book, which was the second of the two books found by the king so long ago. King Arthur only had a few copies made of it because this book, or a few copies made of this book because the rats had eaten a lot of it while it did duty as a cupboard leg. And he thought people wouldn't be interested in the stories with beginnings and no ends.
So hang on. This book is being used as propping up a cupboard leg or something, and it has a beginning but no end? How'd the rats eat the middle part? Anyway.
But enough of the stories was left to show that in the old days, an ordinary young man could find caves full of treasure, or win the hands of princesses, or even becomes the king. Henry didn't really fancy being a king, but he rather liked the idea of winning the hands of princesses, and where there was a princess whose hand was being offered.
Oh my goodness. The Fantastic Mr. Fox,
Pass.
Ultron.
Crap, I've only seen that movie once.
All right, go ahead and pass.
Yeah.
Sparky from Cars Life.
Oh, Jesus.
That afternoon, as Henry watched over his sheep, he thought seriously about the matter. Here was a chance to travel with good matrimonial prospects thrown in. He could take time off from his questing to look at some of those glass palaces described by Auntie Mabel, and perhaps even a few of the beautiful princesses, though they would probably be a bit past their prime by now. Then there was always the chance of coming across a golden egg or picking up a useful spell from a wizarding wand. By the end of the afternoon, he had definitely decided to go questing.
Ugh. Next.
Lotso Huggin' Bear.
Next morning, Henry went to the palace and joined the line of suitors waiting to see the king. When his turn came, he was shown into the king's private museum and was a bit embarrassed to find not only the king there, but the queen and all the princesses as well. The king greeted him very affably and asked him if he knew what shiny objects standing about the room were. Henry replied that they were old family heirlooms that had been in the royal family ever since the old days. And apparently the shiny heirlooms in question are old cars, including Bumblebee. No! What happened? Next voice.
Okay, I don't know if this was a typo or if this is an actual character, but I kind of remember maybe it is a character from The Simpsons, but I don't watch a lot of Simpsons, so I'm not sure. Okay, that was my disclaimer. Indian Jones?
I think that's supposed to be Indiana Jones.
Okay, that's what I thought, but I wasn't sure. Isn't there an Indian character in The Simpsons?
Yes, you are thinking of Apu Nahasbima Petalon, who may or may not have been retired from the show. I cannot be sure on that point.
Maybe he should have, because it sounds racist.
But Indiana Jones, let's see. Henry said they were for keeping chickens in, and the queen and the princesses tittered. But the king just looked superior and told Henry what they were really for. When he had finished, he asked, "And you know what it was that made them move by themselves?" Henry said it was magic. The queen and princesses all nodded in agreement and smiled smugly at the king with an "I told you so" written all over their faces. But the king ignored them, and looking even more superior, said solemnly and slowly, "It was gasoline." Okay. Next.
Hades,
Pass.
Invader Zim.
He waited a few moments for that line to sink in. Then he went on to say that he believed that gasoline still lurked about somewhere. No, really, it had to be said that way in a particular look. All caps and bold.
Gasoline.
Either in the forest or beyond, and that the purpose of the quest was to find it and bring it back alive. If Henry could do that, Arthur said, he would be a knight worthy of a place at the round table, and the princesses Isolde would be his bride.
It's Isolde, apparently.
Isolde. Yeah, just name her Sue. Next.
Adam West's Batman.
Princess Isolde looked as
Martina,
if she...
that's the next one.
Hmm?
I said, Martina, that's the next one.
I don't know, Martina.
No, Martina is the person that's requesting the next one.
I gotcha. Princess Isolde looked as if she definitely liked the idea of the queen, and the queen looked as if she definitely didn't. Henry just smiled sheepishly and blushed. The king had drifted into a little world of his own and was murmuring softly about how gasoline would bring his beautiful heirlooms to life and how they would carry him about among the people, who would all be terrified and really think that he was somebody and not just a harmless old fool. Then the queen dug him in the ribs, and he became himself with a start. He wished Henry good luck, and Henry left, wondering if Princess Isolde smiled like that at all the suitors as they walked out. Let's see here. Trying to see if we got a page count here.
You have a page missing?
No, I'm just wondering how long this particular bonus story is going to be, because so far this is looking like it's going to be longer than everything we've had so far.
Oh no.
Doesn't say, and the pages aren't numbered here.
I told you that looked long.
It didn't look very long from here. Should we pause here or keep going?
I don't think we should pause. If you're not gonna finish that one, you should do a different bonus story.
Different bonus story. Yeah, sorry, this was just a little bit longer than we were anticipating. Let's see. Shall we take a story from Star Wars or the Disney book?
All right, guys, let's hear from you. Would you rather hear Star Wars, Disney, or Edgar Allan Poe?
Or Pixar? What are we looking at so far?
Star Wars. Star Wars, Disney, Star Wars, Pixie. Disney, Poe, Pixar, Star Wars, Disney, Pixar.
Sounds like we got a lot of Star Wars in there.
Disney, Poe, Star Wars. Okay, so you offered Disney, Pixar, Star Wars, and I said Poe, right?
Yes.
Randomly choose a story from Star Wars.
And then randomly one from Poe?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Everybody wants Pixar too. Oh, I hate to disappoint everybody, but we can't do all of them.
No, I'm sorry. Let's start things off with Destroy the Death Star, page 65. What do we got?
How's your Loki impression?
Not good.
Oh no, they've been waiting for that one.
I'm sorry, guys. I guess I can give it a try.
Well, no, if you don't think it's good, I'm sorry. I'd be happy to do mine, but I don't have the book.
Can you read it here?
I don't sound like Loki, though. It's my version of Loki. That wouldn't be what they're wanting.
Oh, they want to hear your Loki.
No, they don't. No, they don't.
Yes, they do. They just don't know it yet.
Nope. Are you ready for it? Ready for the first voice?
Yes.
The rapping dog.
Oh, God. I hate you.
Okay, now they're saying I should do it. Oh, my goodness.
Do it. Here, to make it
I
easy.
probably can't read it. Okay.
To make it easier, I'll take a picture for you.
Okay, that'll work. Kind of full screen, but then I can't see the...
There we go.
It's just a highfalutin voice. It's really not Loki.
It's Loki enough. Sending it to Raven. There we go. And boom.
All right. For years, the rebellion had struggled against the evil Galactic Empire. Now, for the first time, the rebels had an advantage. They had discovered a weakness in the Empire's greatest weapon, the Death Star. They could use a good pilot like you, Luke Skywalker said to his friend Han Solo, as the rebels prepared for their attack. Sorry, kid, Han said. The smuggler wasn't interested. He had more important things to do.
I'll bet you did. Yeah. Yeah, so we got to end the stream a little bit early here. Hi-yo.
Oh my goodness. Okay, now do the rapid dog.
Luke walked away disappointed, but he needed to keep his mind on the mission. At times like this, he missed his old teacher, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Ben Kenobi. It was times of things like this that he missed Ben Kenobi.
Oh my God.
Luke climbed into the cockpit of his X-Wing while they loaded his astromech droid. I thought it was just Astro Droid.
I think that's enough rapid dog.
His astromech droid R2-D2 into the ship. Luke was glad the little droid was his co-pilot. The two friends had been through a lot together. Astro Droid. Everybody's feeling fine because it's Astro Droid. Next.
Muscle Man from the regular show. I remember you saying that you knew about the regular show, don't you?
No, I never saw it.
Oh, okay. I bet you had.
No.
Mrs. Doubtfire. I love that one. So sweet and calming.
The fleet of X-Wings flew toward the space station. Look at the size of that thing, one of the pilots said, as they approached the massive Death Star. Everyone started to get nervous. Luke heard a mysterious voice inside of his head. Luke, the Force will be with you. ... Not always. Okay. Mrs. Doubtfire sounds like the grandmother from the Wonky Donkey.
I don't know how to pronounce your name. Suki Condor? Your mom's not the only one that likes Han. That's one of my favorite parts of Star Wars. I'm not a big Star Wars fan, but I'll take me some Harrison Ford any day of the week. And you're like, fine wine. He is not getting older. He's just getting better.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay, calm down, you.
Fanning myself with my notes. Now let's hear some Mufasa.
Ooh, do it again.
Mufasa.
Ooh.
Mufasa.
Tingles me. Yeah, Mufasa reading a Star Wars story. Wrap your head around that.
What a stretch.
Soon the Death Star's cannons began to shoot at the X-Wings. Laser fire exploded all around Luke and his friends, but there was no time for hesitation. I'm going in, said Luke. Luke heard the voice again. Luke, trust your feelings. Remember who you are. The voice seemed familiar, and it helped Luke focus.
What seemed familiar?
I know, it's weird, right? He dodged the laser fire and swooped toward the surface of the Death Star with the other X-Wings. Next.
Famous.
Always famous. But the X-Wings were not alone. A fleet of TIE fighters appeared behind them. That was going to make things even more difficult, especially since Darth Vader himself was leading the enemy ships. The TIE fighters fired on the X-Wings. Luke's ship was shot. I'm hit, but not bad, Luke told the other pilots. R2, see what you can do back there. Oh, I'm sure he can do something back there. R2 got to work fixing the damage. The little droid was both brave and smart. And for some reason, while this is going on, we've got a nice, scary close-up of Darth Vader. Okay? I have you now. What?
Do you know who the Micro Machines man is?
Oh, God.
Do that, if you could do that.
The first of the X-Wings entered the Death Star's trench.
Jesus.
The lead pilot got closest to the exhaust port. The one weakness of the giant space station. The pilot fired, but he missed. Back at the Rebel base, Princess Leia and C-3PO were worried about their friends, but they're also worried about the Death Star. If it got too close to the base, it would destroy them all. And with the Death Star, it can only be the real thing.
Oh my lord. You do know that they speed that up in post, right, guys? I mean,
No, they don't.
are you serious?
That guy spoke that fast. Yeah,
Ridiculous.
it is ridiculous.
Wow.
I'm sorry. I need to take a moment to look up a Micro Machines ad with that guy in it. Just gonna set my spot here. Gonna whip this up real quick, just so Raven can know.
That is ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. I will not contest that. Let's see. Search for Micro Machines commercial. And got to turn up my thing here a little bit. There we go.
The Micro Machine Man here presenting a genuine original, colossally collectible, most midget miniature episode of the real things, Micro Machines. Dramatically detailed, stupendously styled, smaller than a nut, this one or this one. And now with a totally terrific town, the new Micro Machine Super City Toolbox playset. Closed, it's a mild-mannered toolbox. Open, it's a Micro Machine USA. Cruise your mini Micro Machine vehicles, planes, and boats to the police station, the marina, the mini motorcycle repair shop, the gas station, the construction office, work, the real working brokerage, highway, passenger ramp, and garage doors. Or take a Micro Machine flying machine in for a landing. Phew, this place has it all. The new Micro Machine Super City Toolbox playset from Galoo. The one and only outrageous original miniatures. Remember, if it doesn't say Micro Machines, it's not the...
Oh, yeah.
No freaking way.
That was real.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. So, yes. Thank you for suggesting the Micro Machines guy. Now let's never speak of that again.
For real.
Next.
Galvatron?
The second attack run of Rebel ships dove into the canyon to take their shot, but they missed too. It was all up to Luke. He had just dodged Darth Vader and the enemy TIE fighters on his tail. Luke tried to use the targeting computer to make the shot, but he heard the familiar voice in his head again. Use the Force, Luke. It was Obi-Wan. Luke shut off the computer and trusted himself. Right as he was about to take his shot, Darth Vader's TIE fighter appeared behind him. Next.
We already asked him about Negaduck, and he doesn't know that voice.
Sorry.
Hulk Hogan.
Darth Vader's lasers locked onto Luke's X-Wing. I have you now, brother, Vader said triumphantly. But before Vader could fire, another ship swooped in and shot all the TIE fighters. It was Han Solo in the Millennium Falcon. He had returned just in time to save his friend. Yahoo! Han shouted with excitement. Then he added, You're all clear, kid. Now let's pull this thing and go home.
Just a quick ask, just asking for opinions. Would you guys be willing to attend a sponsored for the GoFundMe stream? Where I was the one doing the reading and maybe reading some inappropriate bedtime stories. Like, go the F to sleep. Any interest?
Oh my God, that would be brilliant. Please say yes.
I can't do funny voices, but I can do voices.
I was gonna say there's not gonna be as wide a range as voices as you would get from me, but her voice is very worth the time.
Yes, but it's going to be reading funny stories. It's not supposed to turn anybody on.
Oh, it's gonna happen.
Oh, shut up.
Go the F to sleep.
Okay. You can go away now.
Oh, God. Next, boys, is a sponsored post.
What is that?
Dalek.
Luke was so happy his friend had joined the fight after all, but everything still rested on Luke's shoulders. If he didn't make the shot, the rebels would be doomed. Luke thought about what Obi-Wan had said. Exterminate! Exterminate!
Yay!
Luke closed his eyes and used the Force. He waited. Then when the mood was right, he fired. And he exterminated.
That was good, but my goodness, that will strain your vocal cords.
Actually, I'm pretty good.
Okay. Here's one that I know you're going to enjoy. Brent,
Yes.
because he has to pee.
Ugh. And there I just did Norman. Ugh.
Luke did it! The torpedoes flew into the exhaust port. Great shot, kid, Han Solo said. That was 1 in a million.
I hate you all. You made me say one of the most iconic lines from Star Wars in Brent's voice. Ugh.
Great shot, kid, that was 1 in a million. The rebel ship sped away from the Death Star as fast as they could. Seconds later, the entire space station exploded in a giant burst of light. The Death Star has been destroyed. Whippy!
Mother Bear should have smothered Bear.
Have Phaelus guest star as Old Man?
Hmm?
What does that mean?
I don't know what that means.
I don't know, Keaton, but if you'd like to suggest a voice, you don't have to do a sponsored post again. Just suggest a voice and yours will be done next.
Yes, and this is the final voice for the story.
The final voice for this story, and at least until we hear from Keaton, will be dun, 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 dun,
Da-da-da-da.
Pingo.
Oh God, I hate you all.
As Luke and his friends flew to safety, he heard Obi-Wan's voice in his head one last time. Fabulous! Absolutely fabulous! Remember, the Force will be with you always! Luke smiled to himself. He and his friends had defeated the Empire and rescued the rebels, and soon they would save the entire galaxy! Fabuloso!
Keaton, I thought we were friends.
Uh-oh. What did he
You've
say?
already done that one singing, but okay. I could be done.
There are still 2 voices we haven't done yet for this. First of all, we must find a story.
Yes, Keaton, there's still time to change if you'd like to pick the other horrifying voice. Laura Cruz says, we finally have a Star Wars Doctor Who crossover. Woo!
Yeah. How about we do A Dream Within a Dream from
That sounds
Edgar Allan
good.
Poe, page 718.
The other 2 voices that make me want to be anywhere but here. Maybe want to dig out my eardrums with a pencil.
And we're going to want to do more than just A Dream Within a Dream, because this is only like 2 stanzas.
Oh, yeah.
I'm now
Yeah,
seeing.
Is the other 2 voices are Pee Wee Herman and Donald Trump.
Do we have a consensus on what it will be? Or are we still doing Gottfried?
Let's give Keaton a chance to answer. Let's start out with Peter Lorre.
Okay.
Take this kiss upon the brow, and in parting from you now, thus much let
romantic.
me avow.
It's so romantic.
You are not wrong who deem that my days have been a dream. Yet if hope has flown away in a night or in a day, in a vision or in none, it is therefore the less gone? All that we see or seem is but a dream within a dream.
Next.
Keaton is still deciding. So, how's your Gozar?
Pass.
Okay. How about Crankor?
Crankor?
Yep.
Oh no. First, let me find another poem here that's not too long or not too short. We'll do To Helen after this one. Okay. Attention, people of Earth. I stand amid the roar of a surf-tormented shore, and I hold within my hand grains of the golden sand. How few, yet how they creep through my fingers to the deep, while I weep. Oh God, can I not grasp? Tell them with a tighter grasp. Oh God, I cannot save one from the pitiless wave. Is all that we see or seem but a dream within a dream? Okay,
That
final
was a
poem.
preemptive. Ooh. We have an answer.
Yes.
There.
To Helen.
Oh God.
I saw thee once only, years ago. I must not say how many, but not many. It was a July midnight, and from out a full orb moon like that thine own soul soaring, sought a participant pathway up through heaven. There felt a silvery silken veil of light, with quietude and sultriness and slumber, upon the upturned faces of 1,000 roses that grew in an enchanted garden. There were no wind dared to stir unless on tiptoe fell upon the upturned faces of these roses that gave out, in turn of the love light, their odorous souls in an ecstatic death fell upon the upturned faces of these roses that smiled in death at his portrait, enchanted by thee and by the poetry of thy presence. Ah!
I love you.
No, you don't. Was
Next.
that the last voice?
No, we got a little bit way to go here.
Okay. The cutest character you know.
Oh dear.
I don't remember who suggested it, but I thought that was a cute idea.
Well, first thing that comes to mind is Lily.
Yeah, I can see that.
Clad all in white upon a velvet bank, I saw thee half reclining, while the moon fell upon the upturned faces of the roses, and on thine own upturned, alas, in sorrow. It was not fate that on this July midnight, was it not fate, whose name is also sorrow, that bade me pause before the garden gate to breathe the incense of those slumbering roses? No footsteps stirred, the hated world all slept, save only thee and me. Oh heaven, oh God, how my heart beats in coupling those two words, save only thee and me.
I paused, I looked, and in an instant all things disappeared. Ah, bear in mind, this garden was enchanted.
Next. You got 2 more stanzas here.
Well, you have to do 3 more voices.
3 more?
3 more voices.
Why 3?
Because there's 3 that everyone wanted.
Okay.
Well, at least 2 of them that everyone wanted, and 1 that I've seen a couple of different suggestions for. So.
All right. What's the first one?
Tommy Wiseau.
The pearly luster of the moon went out, the mossy banks and the meandering paths, the happy flowers and the repining trees, or seen no more, the very rose odors died in the arms of the adoring airs. Oh, hi, adoring airs. all
Your background went away.
Hmm?
Your
Oh,
background
no.
went away.
That's a first.
We outlasted the background.
Indeed. Let's see, where was I?
All expired save thee, save less than thou, but only the divine light in thine eyes. Save but the soul to thine uplifted eyes. I saw but them, they were the world to me. I saw but them, saw only them for hours. Saw only them until the moon went down. What wild heart's history seemed to lie unwritten, upon whose crystalline celestial spheres, how dark a woe, yet how sublime a hope, how silently serene the sea of pride, how daring an ambition, yet how deep, how fathomless a capacity for love, Lisa.
Next.
Optimus Primal.
But now, at length, dear Dian sank from sight into a western couch of thundercloud, and thou, a ghost amid the entombing trees, didst glide away. Only thine eyes remained. They would not go. They never have yet gone, lighting my lonely pathway home that night. They have not left me, as my hopes have since. They follow me. They lead me through the years. They are my ministers, yet I their slave. Their office is to illumine, and enkindle. My duty to be saved by their bright light, and purified by their electric fire, and sanctified in their Elsian fire.
Tom Jackson said, "What a story, Rob."
Yeah. What the story?
And the final voice that must be done to end the stream. Do we have a good thing to do it with? Do you have a good?
I'm asking you or the chat.
You.
Understand that I love you.
No, you're not picking the voice. You're picking the passage you're reading.
Oh, there's still one stanza left of this
Oh, okay.
poem, so yeah, okay.
The final voice, Derek Savage. Daddy Derek himself.
God.
Nope, sorry, ran out of time, can't do Trump. Sorry, guys. Darn, I'm just as disappointed as you are.
But be sure to tune in for our stream tomorrow at 10.
We're doing this again tomorrow?
Yes, that was the plan.
Son of a biscuit eater.
Baby, you can't do that. That's not fair.
What?
You can't say son of a biscuit eater and then get upset when everyone says the C word at you.
I'm Southern and I was trying to keep the stream G-rated.
I love you. Speaking of Southern, or sorry, Hollywood.
No, we don't. We don't let Hollywood claim. Like Tommy Wiseau, saying he's from New Orleans. Don't he and I have a similar accent?
Oh, yes. Hello, all my naughty boys and girls. How's your sex life?
We're about to take this down a G rating.
I'm sorry.
Thing. Do Derek Savage and then feed me dinner. My God, I'm starving to death.
Yes, ma'am. They fill my soul with beauty, which is hope, and far up in heaven the stars I kneel to in the sad, silent watches of my night, while even my meridian glare of day, I still see them, two sweetly Sicilian Venuses, undistinguished by the sun. And there we go.
Now, a Southern accent can be very sexy, so don't hate your Southern accent.
No.
Ashitaka 64 SP. Don't hate your Southern accent. It's okay.
Just hate his. It's okay.
You can hate him for whatever reason you want to hate him.
Because there's right and there's wrong.
But the fact that he's Southern has absolutely nothing to do with it.
Although it makes Mama Cat kind of sound kind of uncomfortable.
No. Do you know what we need to send Daddy Derek?
What's that?
A copy of those new Arm & Hammer kitty litter commercials.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. Have you guys seen them?
No. We cannot have Cool Cat doing that.
Oh, my Lord. Have you seen them? They are so creepy.
It's people dressed up in cat costumes, and they're advertising, I guess, a less dusty cat litter. Is that what it is?
Yes.
And
no
what?
Cloud of nasties.
It's a family of human-like cats who are wearing kind of shoddily constructed fursuits. It looks like,
very shoddily constructed,
and their faces are CGI, and it just looks weird. Now, if they made the cats completely CGI, like those Orangina commercials, that might be less disturbing.
Or I love the Orangina commercials. I love that. They're so much fun.
They're so weird, but yeah, it's like, I can't look away.
Arm & Hammer commercials will give you nightmares. And it's not just the one with the family. There's one with the guy's like, I have my girlfriend over, but she's always upset because my litter room stinks or something. I'm like, oh.
I haven't seen that one.
That's supposed to be like romantic? No, there's not a furry in the world that's getting off on that. Not a single one. I don't know. Maybe there are. There are those that get off on little puppies.
Oh, God, no. No.
I'm sorry.
No.
Did I say that out loud? I'm so sorry.
I'm sexy. Yes, that's my Claudette impression. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Now I'm going to go hang myself.
No. Hey, Nick Wilde and Judy Hopps are a couple. I don't care. I don't care if they didn't actually like get married in the movie or whatever. They're a couple.
It is.
If you read the fan fiction, they're a couple. And they're grown-ups, so it's okay.
And they're grown-ups, so it's okay.
And they're obviously people who just happen to have fur and tails. And, you know, they're not. Ooh. They're not supposed to look like actual wolf puppies.
They're not minors.
No, they're not. They're grown-ups. Okay, Orangina is how it's pronounced?
Orangina, yes.
Orangina.
Orangina.
Okay, all right.
Weird commercials, but at least it's not. Well, is it uncomfortably weird? I guess that varies from audience member to audience member. But it's not the puppet cat heads with CGI faces, which is no. Don't do that.
Keaton says it's pronounced like vagina, so it's Orangina?
It doesn't look like that to me, but okay.
I think we're just going to continue to mispronounce it as Orangina, if that's all right with Joe.
Yes, that's okay. I don't feel comfortable drinking something that sounds like Gina.
No comment.
Anywho, did you guys have fun?
Everybody look at Rob's face. See as it gets pinker and pinker when he realizes what he said.
Anywho. So yes, I'm glad you guys had a lot of fun with this. I know that Raven and I did.
Yes, indeed.
And be sure to come in for the encore presentation of this live stream tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific time, which gives us, let's see, what time is it? Oh dear, we've only got like 10 hours to prepare. Can we do it?
Well, as long as I don't have to go into battle with Amazon ahead of time, yes. I'll have time to take my potty break.
Exactly.
I'll eat breakfast, so I'm not starving to death.
Yes.
Much better. But yeah, definitely let us know if you're interested in a little Raven story time with Raven
That'd be great.
session. You know, of course, it'll be Rob on camera because I'm a mystery.
Yes.
At
But
least for a while.
but she's not that mystery. That mystery is just a douchebag. But anyway. No, never mind. But yeah, be sure to tune in to the stream at 10 a.m. tomorrow, guys. And we'll see you later.
This was fun, guys. See you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Stream.